I'm live. I think I'm live. Is anybody here? Is anybody here? Turn the volume down. Got a little ad to start things off. Yay for AdSense. Okay, there we go. Yep, I'm live. I am live. Perfect. We'll just hang out. If you are watching, say hello. Let me know. I can see there is someone watching. I don't know if it was me or not. It may have been me when I checked in and it hasn't registered that I closed that window yet. But if you're here, say hello. Let me know you are watching. There we go. And we'll just hang out for a bit until some people show up. I was just watching a Toronto, that's how you say it when you're not from there. I'm from there, so I would say Toronto. A Toronto vlogger, I guess, Politico opinion guy, broadcaster. His name's Dewey, and he was just talking about his thoughts on all the stuff going on right now. And it was kind of interesting, but I didn't finish, so I'll catch up with him when I'm done. And I may actually I did kind of drop a, hey, do you want to collab on a video? So we'll see if we have time to do that and just chitty chat together about, but it'll be on his channel. Chitty chat together about some politics and what's going on in Canada. Oh, I see some people are checking things out. Don't forget to say hello. If you are lurking in the bushes, don't be scared. Just say hi. And if you're one of the usual crew, come on down. We're going to be talking about, I've got a brand new video I just posted actually. And I'm going to play that. We're going to talk about, it's about fairground fortune tellers and how to not get scammed by scammer tarot readers out there in the world. And, it's important to do your due diligence and make sure that the person you are giving your money to is actually legit, because that we find there's a lot of people out there, and you can tell because a lot of this conversation is going to be about ethics. So you can tell when people don't have ethics. You shouldn't hire them. Don't hire them. And I'm sitting here. I'm knitting a toque. Or if you are outside of Canada, a knit woolly hat is what I'm knitting here while I sit and wait. Hello, not perfect, just British. How are you today? Are you having a good week? And Mad 886. Yes, I love bushes. What does bushes have to do with bushes? Yes, I love bushes. Was I talking about bushes? Sometimes I'm like talking, I have no idea what's coming out of my mouth. As we heard last week, I'm like saying things that aren't even what's in front of me. And hi, Nikki. It's Avril, actually. Avril. Evening, Mad and Red. Oh, that you like the... Oh, there you go. See? So, yeah, I did say it. Thank you. When I said if you are... hiding in the bushes, come out and say hi. There you go. Thank you. See, that's all it took. I had totally forgotten I said that like a second after I said it. There we are. It keeps raining. Oh dear. We just had snow. So we've had more snow. The schools were running today. The buses came, but my husband took my son to the bus stop. In the winter, in the dark, in the cold and everything, he'll just drive him to the bus stop so he can just jump on the school bus when it arrives and not have to stand or walk in the cold. And out on a main road. This is the thing I don't love, is that the bus stop is on a main road and there's no sidewalks, nothing. Don't like it. So my husband just drives him out there, and he came back and said, I don't understand why the buses are running today. So there we go. That's what we have going on there. And Matt 86, where are you? Where are you watching from? I like your logo. That's really cool. Like an eclipse. That's really neat. And Not Perfect is getting lots of rain. That's too bad, because I get, like, I want to get out of my house, and not have to like heat up my car and then run out to the car. Like, I want to go for a walk. I want to get some steps in. I've been sitting around all winter, and I'm like, oh, I need to move. I need to get out walking, which is why when we were in Calgary last weekend, it was so nice. It was like 9 degrees and we barely needed coats, and we walked everywhere, and it was just so nice to move. Like, I was putting in 10,000 steps in the building I was in without even leaving the building, and then a few thousand more steps just walking around the city. So that was nice to get out there and get moving. Oh, I can see my son. There's a window right in front of me out to the front of my house. I just saw my son walking from the bus. There we go. There we go. And who else is here? Nikki, are you here still? How are you? How's Montreal? How are things going? I was just catching up on some Canadian politics broadcasters. There's a lot going on. It's amazing. I don't even talk about it anymore, because by the time I finish talking about it, the whole story's changed an hour later. So it's like, why bother? Why bother even talking about it? Marius Andre, oh, nice, from Romania. Interesting. Wow. And how is life in Romania? Is Romania considered like what was sort of an Eastern Bloc country? Is that, am I thinking correctly there, that it was an Eastern Bloc country at some point and is now part of the EU? Because I know there's a whole bunch of countries that are all like grouped together that are not, like, some are Europe and some are not. And it's kind of interesting. It's a weird day. Is it weird? Like, the weather's weird. Oh, you had an appointment for shiatsu, and Metro was working. Rescheduled it to Friday. Oh. The Metro is the subway in Montreal, for anybody who's not quite sure. Oh, so you're going to go for shiatsu on Friday. Yay. Oh, I've got the hiccups. Of course, the second I go live, I've got the hiccups. Oh, it was not working. Oh, I see. Okay, we'll fix this. Nikki had an appointment for shiatsu. The Metro was not working, so the subway was not working, so it's been rescheduled. Well, that's good that they were able to reschedule it for you. I can't remember the last time I took a subway. It was probably, I know it was in the before times. I remember I had taken my son to Toronto, and we normally just drive, but he wanted to experience the subway. So I took him on the subway and taught him how, because I grew up on the subway, basically, like in Toronto, growing up there. So how to not fall down, how to not crash into people, all those things. So it was kind of neat. So he's only ever been on the subway, I think, once. But we're country mice now, so we just drive everywhere in our 4x4. Yes, East Bloc Europe. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm not that great on my European geography. I should be better. I want to go to Georgia and to conduct some business in Georgia. And I have a lawyer lined up there that I would be talking to. So yeah, there's some really cool places, and places that were once communist and now are no longer communist. They're really economically stable countries because we're not going to be returning to communism. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's cool. What's it like there for you? Is it? I honestly know nothing about Romania. It's like, what is your daily life like, and what are your politics over there? There's a weird energetics in the air. Yeah. Lola, you made it. Lola's been kicking it with me online all day, as she does on Tuesdays. She just follows me around whatever live I'm doing. She's there. So see, because that's what good friends do, is you support each other and you show up for each other. So yeah. Yeah. All right. Mm-mm-mm. I finished the hat that I was working on. So we have this gorgeous blue colored toque that it's funny because I was on some knitting channels and I kept saying a toque and they're not Canadian and they were like, what? What's a toque? I'm like, oh, it's a woolly hat, a knit woolly hat. But in Canada, we call it a toque. And I don't even know why. Don't even know why. And then I have a new one on with this gorgeous gray yarn. I actually, the guy I was watching, Dewey, I knit him a neck warmer. He does urban hiking. My hair is doing something weird here and it's bugging me. He does urban hiking. And so I made him a neck warmer in this. And he loved it so much. I was like, I'm going to make you a toque as well, a woolly hat. So I'll pop that in the mail to him when that's done. Footsie, hello. Yes, a toque. You just see like people in other countries, they're like a toque. And I'm like, nope, in Canada, that's a whole other thing. Not related to knitting. Not related to knitting. No, it's a toque. It's a toque. And I should look up why is it called a toque? Why is it called a toque? It's, oh my gosh, the word toque has been known in English since around 1500. And it's a play on the word toque from the French, which is spelled with a U, Tuque, presumably by the way of the Spanish toca or tuca, women's headdress. Well, there we go. The word toque in Breton means hat. Interesting. All right. Well, there we go. It comes from French, en français, and it is like the nations, like is it six Celtic nations? 6 nations, is that right? Or 7 nations? I can't remember. So the Celtic nations, there are some that are French and Celtic that are considered Celtic as well. So it's all kind of come from the same place. Isn't that interesting? And Not Perfect, Just British is saying hello to Footsie. All right. So today I wanted to talk about fairground fortune tellers and how to avoid them. So what I've actually done, I felt it was an important enough conversation to make a video about it, which I did. I did actually make a video, and we're going to watch that video. It's only 10 minutes, but instead of me sitting here presenting the topic to you, we're just going to pop the video in. So let me just line it up. I should have done it before now, but I didn't. So here we are. We will pop this in and we'll make it full screen. I'll just chitty chat while the ad plays. There we go. All right, and we'll turn the volume up. I should have had all my tech ready. I did not. I don't know. Is this the right one? I think it is. Okay. And we'll put this one down. Footsie's always here with the hearts and the loves. I think it's so nice. I think that's so nice. All right. Okay, ready. Let's go. Go there. Oopsie. We'll go right to the beginning. Oh my goodness. The little line is so... Tarot has always lived in 2 worlds. There's the fairground version. Quick, sensational, designed to shock or impress. The kind of reading that tells you something dramatic, vague, or alarming, just enough to keep you hooked and wanting to pay for more. Historically, this style of reading existed only for entertainment. It was not meant to guide lives. It was not meant to be taken seriously. It was meant to draw a crowd. And then there's ethical tarot work, grounded, relational, and rooted in respect. Part of the confusion people experience around tarot today comes from not knowing the difference between these two worlds. An ethical tarot reading is not about spectacle. It's not about power, and it's certainly not about prying into places that don't belong to us. It is also important to ask about the training and background of any reader you are thinking of booking a session with. Many people today are simply buying a deck of cards, skimming through the book that comes with it, then they call themselves a tarot reader and book readings for $5 an hour. They might dress up. They might create a space that looks like a secret lounge advertised with the neon light of a crystal ball in the window. No training, no ethical wisdom, and absolutely no coaching skills. Coaching is important because as readers, we also need to help you integrate the information you've received and offer you next steps of how to move through life with all of your new wisdom. So many really have no clue what they're doing, and their customers have no idea. I'm often asked why I charge so much more than this type of tarot reader. The answer is quite simple. I was trained by one of the top psychics in the world in his academy. It was a very long training that included all kinds of things most people never think about. Most importantly, we're taught ethics. Have you ever thought about the ethics of the psychic world? I was trained on what to look for in a reading to avoid directly answering the death question. If you ask me when Granny's going to die, I won't tell you. I've had people come to me in tears after a psychic told them their husband is going to die this summer. What I might tell you is that I see big emotions coming up towards the end of the year. Do you see the difference? One of the clearest markers of an ethical reader is how seriously they take their own boundaries. Asking for predictions about death, illness, or the private lives of other people crosses a very big ethical line. And that's not because tarot can't go there. It's because it should not go there. Reading on third parties without their consent violates privacy. It turns tarot into surveillance instead of guidance. That's why I will not read on your daughter, your partner, your ex, or any private individual unless they have explicitly given me their consent. And no, watching my channel does not count as consent. If we would not accept someone hiring a stranger to secretly investigate us, we shouldn't accept that exact same behavior dressed up as spirituality. The same goes for predicting death and illness. Tarot's not a diagnostic tool. I will not tell you when someone will die. I will not even tell you if someone will die, even if I see it. I won't tell you whether someone is sick or if I see an illness later on. If you're worried about your health, you need a medical professional. If you are dealing with legal matters, you need a lawyer, not a deck of cards. Spiritual work is not a substitute for real-world care. Another cornerstone of ethical tarot is intention. Tarot is a collaborative process. It works best when it's approached with openness, curiosity, and respect. Requests for curses, manipulation, or readings done purely to test the reader degrade the energy of the session. And believe me when I say, it's not the skepticism that's the problem. It's the hostility that often comes with it. If someone comes into a reading trying to catch the reader out, or later says things like, why didn't your card see XYZ when you didn't ask about XYZ? That's not discernment, that's bad faith. I've often heard people saying, Why didn't she see that so and so would do such and such in her cards? The answer is ridiculously simple, because I didn't know I needed to ask the cards about that. No tarot reader is sitting here thinking, I should do a reading to find out who's stabbing me in the back. Tarot answers a question. If we don't ask the question, the cards aren't going to suddenly come to life and demand that I listen. A real reading is not a performance, it's a conversation. And the quality of that conversation matters so much more than theatrics. If you're not sure what to ask in a tarot reading, that's actually a really good sign. Ethical tarot is not about fishing for secrets. It's about developing self-awareness and agency. Some really great questions sound like, what can I focus on right now to support my growth and well-being? What would help me move forward in my career? How can I strengthen my relationships or attract healthier connections? What should I consider as I make this decision? Do you see how these kinds of questions keep the reading empowering and not destabilizing? They place you at the center of your own life, not as a passive recipient of faith. You are an active participant when we answer these sorts of questions. So let me be very clear about how I work, and then you can use this as discernment as you move forward in your life and meet readers around the world. Do not read on third parties without the third party's consent. I do not predict death or illness, and I will not give medical or legal advice. I will not cast spells or direct energy towards others without their consent. I do not engage in readings designed to manipulate, spy, or control. I do not perform readings for people who are trying to catch me out or test me instead of engaging sincerely. These are not limitations. These are protections for you, for me, and the work that we do together. There are many voices online who ignore these boundaries entirely. They read on private citizens, they make dramatic claims, they generate fear, dependency, and urgency, because those are the kinds of things that keep people watching. And this doesn't make them a powerful psychic or tarot reader. This makes them irresponsible. Ethical spiritual work should leave you cleaner, calmer, and more self-trusting, not anxious, dependent, or afraid to make your own choices. If a reading makes you feel powerless, something has gone wrong. When we practice tarot with integrity, it's not about prediction, it's about perspective. It doesn't override your intuition. It helps you hear it more clearly. If you're ready for a grounded, respectful conversation with your own inner wisdom, or one that centers on you instead of spectacle, that's the work I offer. When you're ready for a conversation with your soul, I invite you to reach out and say hello and get the conversation started. Thank you for joining me here today. Don't forget to click like, click subscribe, leave a comment, and let me know what you think. And as ever, have a magical day. Can you see why I felt like that was worthy of its own video and not just a random little talk here today? So thank you for watching that with me. I tried to keep the visuals simple because the message is actually more important than the actual pictures or video that I could have put in it. So there you go. And if you want to listen to that again, it is on my channel, and it'll be there forever. I just uploaded it about 45 minutes ago, so 40 minutes ago or so. So yeah, there we have it. Thank you so much, Lola. I know Lola's had a lot of content today from me. So yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we try to keep it positive. There's enough negativity, there's enough evil, there's enough hate out there in all the communities and all the, different parts on every platform. We can find it no problem. So I just try to keep a nice, cozy place where there's no drama, no hate, and that people actually benefit from the work as opposed to, feeling violated. A few people have come to me about someone else and said they felt violated by what they were doing and reading on people who had not consented to being read. So it's we just try to keep it clean here, just to keep it squeaky clean. Yeah. I get my full of you once a week. Yeah, there we go. I have live calls and Zooms and everything throughout the day, and I stack them all on Tuesdays. So that's why Lola's with me the whole time. And like I said, good friends follow you around. So there you go. It should be about bettering oneself. Yeah, absolutely. And I always feel like anybody who dips in here on my channel is probably going to come out the other end even a smidge better than they were before they started. So that's always my goal. That is always, even with my clients, I will ask the question, how do you feel now? An hour later, how are you feeling? And 100% of the time, the answer is positive and things are clear and they can see the path. And my goal is always empowerment, to help my clients feel empowered so that they can move forward with confidence and not feel afraid of decisions or, whatever it is that they came to me for. So, yeah. Oh, and there's my little bot woke up. He took a little nap. But I do have a Facebook group. If anybody's interested, you can hop into the Facebook group, and I just post different things every day and try to come up with something interesting. And educational. Sometimes it's entertaining, sometimes it's educational, sometimes it's inspirational, whatever I feel like that particular day. So yeah, it's I felt like that was an important conversation about just based on some things I've been seeing, and then the conversations that people have been coming to me with about how they feel about some of the things that they've been seeing. So, yeah. So how does everybody feel now? How does everybody feel? I do have my Angel Bingo books here. If we would like to do some of that, we can get some messages out for everybody. I am going to be here for about another 30 minutes. I do have a bereaved family waiting for me, which is sad. So they need to get a funeral booked, and I've got to give them a call when I'm finished here. So yeah, I did promise them that I would be done all of my stuff at 4 and would give them a call after. So yeah, I'll just be here for a little bit longer. And got my knitting, but we will play Angel Bingo. Oh, and I meant to say the book I'm reading is I'll show you the cover. It's called The Book That Writes Itself, and it is really like it's a channeled book, if that makes sense. Where's my 2024 book? I've got a file called 2024 books. I should probably update it to 2026. Where did it go? There it is. I'll pop the, that's what the cover looks like. And it's about an elf who goes on a little adventure, on a quest. And so it's sort of taken lots of spiritual concepts and made it a fictional story about this elf and this adventure that he goes on. And he all the things, and then the dark night of the soul and lucid dreaming and all this kind of stuff. All these things are big spiritual concepts are in it, so it's kind of interesting. Pick your own adventure, no. No, but it kind of sounds like it would be, because the book that writes itself. The reason it's called The Book It Writes Itself is because the woman who wrote it, Corina, I don't even know how to say her last name, it was channeled. So it literally wrote itself for her, but she just had to write it down. So the story came in. I can't remember the name of the entity that gave her the story, but this entity told her this story and she wrote it down, and now this is a book. So it's kind of neat. There's a little dark elf and there's a little dragon, and then there's a druid, and there's all these different characters. And the dark elf is most shocked when he discovers that humans are real. They are not just stories and legends and myths that have been told. They are real, and he does meet humans and is quite blown away by them. So that's what I'm reading right now. And Lola, I think I sent it to you to check out as well. So you probably have it somewhere on your laptop or your computer. So yeah, if anybody wants to play Angel Bingo. Oh, who's this? Somebody. Oh, that's interesting. So I just happened to see there was a notification for my Facebook. Somebody tried to join, but I guess they canceled it. That's interesting. There we go. All right. Who wants to play Angel Bingo? And while I wait for everybody to choose their numbers between 1 and 1111, 1111, I'll talk about next week's topic. I've already got it written. I spent the weekend writing it, and because it was such an interesting thing. And I can't remember who brought the topic up last week. I think it was Moxie. And then all these people started chiming in, and it's on Rh negative blood and Tartarian bloodlines. That's the topic next week. And I have never in my life known someone who is Rh negative, but I've heard a lot about it. And there is one person that I'm kind of know online who is, I should take this down, who is Rh negative. And she has some pretty interesting stories about her life. But I don't know her like personally. And then in the chat last week, all these people started saying, oh, I'm Rh negative, or my sister's Rh negative, or my husband's Rh negative, like all these people suddenly. So then I thought, well, let's do a talk on that and the Tartarian bloodline. And because people think that people with Rh negative blood are aliens. So we're going to talk about that. I don't believe they're aliens. I think there are other people here who are aliens, but I don't think it's Rh negative people. So I see some numbers popping up there. I'm going to have some tea from my well-seasoned tea mug. So Nikki has chosen number 9. Did you choose number 9 last time too? Because it's going to be the same message. It will be the same message. I can't remember. Did you choose number 9 before? So the one, so this is the Angel Numbers book. I could flip my camera. Let me see if it'll work. Oh, it is. It already is. Okay. There we go. Oh, you didn't pick it the same number. Somebody did last week. All right. So number 9, the energy of the divine is awakening within you. Let your soul do the leading. And then from the 1111 Oracle book, number 9, I choose to let go. Let it go. Just like Elsa, let it go. Let it go. I was thinking that incident where Mother had it. I think so. Yeah. I don't know if that's still the case, but I have heard that they, like, it's literally their body rejecting. And maybe this is probably why, that this alien infestation, called a pregnancy, but they, I think their body actually literally rejects it in the same way that sometimes people, when they get an organ transplant, their body will reject the organ, so they have to take medication to stop their body from rejecting it. So that could be, but we'll find out next week when we do our presentation on it. 86 for mad. What is the 886? What's that? What is that number? I'm just curious / exceptionally nosy. I remember when I went through my tarot training in the academy, and the guy, his name's Richard, and he runs the academy, and this guy is like best friends with Uri Geller, and he consults on movies and all sorts of things. And he said the best quality in a tarot reader is nosiness, because a nosy, curious person will keep digging to find more and more and more answers within a reading. So yeah, it's that's me. I'm nosy. And it's funny how many people I see online in the chats who are the same, like literally like, we are nosy. We're nosy people. That's why we're watching. We just want to be nosy. So yeah, there we go. Nikki chose 7 last time. The year 1986. Oh, you know what's so interesting? I really like 1985. That was a great year for me. It was my first year of high school. So I remember 86 well. I turned 15. Peach and olive green were the colors of that year. I don't know why I remember that, but I remember I got an outfit that was olive green pants, like trousers, like chino cotton pants, and then a peach sweater. That's what I got for my birthday. It was one of my gifts for my birthday. And that was 1986. I don't know. I couldn't tell you what I ate for lunch today, but I can tell you that. That's how my mind works. All right, so let's look up 86 for Mad 886. I respect love's wisdom and power. That's a good one. That is a good one. And your other message is your current, this is good. Your current lesson is to step back from anything that is making you feel low or drained. Yeah, get rid of all the low vibrational stuff in your life, and that includes people. If you are feeling drained, if you spend time with someone and you're feeling drained, that's a great sign. They're an energy vampire and they're sucking the life out of you. So yeah, those are great messages. And did anybody else? So I see Nikki, Lola, are you taking a number? And is anybody else? Is Footsie still here? Not perfect. There we go. You're quiet today. I'm really, really quiet. Everybody must just be feeling winterish. Like you just ready for a long winter's nap, you know? Oh, I have this sitting on my desk while we wait. So this, all right, I'll let you take a look at that. I should, you know what? Let me see if I can flip my camera. I'm not loving that you can't. All right, is this better? There you go. Now you can see it, except now I don't know where I am. There we are. Whew, there. I'm so used to my camera being the other way that now I'm like, I don't know where to hold things. So this was from the Conservative Convention, and I thought this was a great idea. This is a pack of gum. Everybody else gave out, hold on one second. I'm going to show you what we were getting as we were walking down the hallway. Going into sessions where we would be voting on policy. Sorry, I just shut my camera off because you shouldn't have to see my bum while I get up from my chair to grab things. There we go. Okay, that feels better. There we are. So we would be handed like a card as we're walking down by whatever riding pitched a policy or a constitutional change. We would get a card. So you just like walking around with cards, like, pieces of paper where this one was a temporary foreign worker one. They wanted to change some policy on that, victims' rights, and then constitutional amendments. So you as you're walking from room to room to vote on things, you're handed these cards, and I've got a whole stack of them here from the convention. And the one that everybody hung on to, the gum. Everybody hung on to their package of gum. And this is a great marketing technique. And I'll tell you, I do the same thing in my own businesses. I don't just give out a business card. I make stickers. I have a printing company as well. There we go. Sorry, just the light. You know what it is? My ring light is competing with the natural light in the window. So I have a printing company, and so I make my own business cards, and I put them in little packages, and then I sometimes put tarot cards in them. Like I'll buy the smaller size tarot cards. I'll put tea bags in them. I'll put stickers in them. And that way, when I give it to somebody, they're not going to just immediately toss it out. They're going to put it in their bag because they're like, oh, a tea bag, you know, and they'll put it in their purse. And then months later, they might dig it out and give me a call. And I did the same for my son. And his he has little packages that he gives out at Highland Games when we're camping and hanging out with people. Hi, Blue Yukon. So nice to see you. Thanks for jumping in. It's not too late for Angel Bingo. So if you have a number you want me to read for you, just drop it in the chat. And then, but we went to Calgary. I just did little stickers for him and gave him little packages. And then it's amazing. You give people stickers. I gave a guy, I was walking down the street next to this guy, and he is like a super duper campaign manager and social media guy. So he some of the politicians I know in my area, he's their campaign manager. So this is like higher level stuff than I assembled 1,500 signs. And I handed him one of my son's business cards that had stickers. I said, hey, there's some stickers in there for you. He was so excited. He was so excited to have a couple stickers with like, one was like a Highland cow and one was like a Canadian flag. He was so excited. He's like, oh my God. He like put it in his suit pocket and he was so excited. So that's the thing. That's a great marketing thing. If you have a business and you need people to not throw out your business cards, do something different like this. Like it's an actual, how fun is this? Pack of gum. So there we go. And yes, I did bring that all the way back from Calgary in my purse. So let's get Lola's 72. 72. All right. It is important to reconnect with yourself and your internal world in order to experience more clarity in your external world. We were just talking about this earlier. Interesting. That's a great message too. That's a great message for everybody. And it was number 72. Here we are. 72. I bring positive healing energy into my relationships. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Lola. Lola's a great friend. Everybody should be nice to Lola because she's a really, really good friend. Blue Yukon. Did you want to Angel Bingo? Blue Yukon? And you know, I emailed you. You sent me an email and I emailed you back. And I don't know if you got my email or not. That was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, right? Those are great messages for you. Both of them were great. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll take some of my images down that we don't need anymore. You should be nice. Yeah, be nice to people. Just be nice to people. It's not that hard. It actually takes way less energy to be nice to people than it does to be horrible to them. And it's better for your health as well. Better for your health. Oh, our friend from, there you are. Okay, we'll get you popped in. We'll get you added in, Mad. We'll get you added in shortly. Blue Yukon with like 32. Okay, so your first message is your relationships with yourself and others are being supported by your angels and guides. Call on them for as much help as you need and know it's never too much. No, they never run out of energy. They never run out of energy. You can never ask for too much from your angels and guides. And if you need support, you need help, you just call it in. Just say it. I had a conversation earlier today where I said, yeah, when I'm driving around and my GPS, like sometimes you just don't have a signal. And like Google Maps is like, nope, not today. And I will just use my intuition. I will ask my team. I'll be like, all right, team, I need some help here. And then the next thing I'm getting turn left, turn right, go straight, da, 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 da. And it's, yeah, just call it in. It's that simple. Everybody can do it. There's nothing special about me at all. I just have honed a craft. That's it. I worked at it, honed it, off we went. And your second message, Blue Yukon, is I relate to others from a creative, spontaneous inner place that encourages freedom for all. Woo, what a great one. You got really good ones this week. Yes, okay. You're having trouble with your internet and got snowed in. Oh no. Did you go on a trip and then you got snowed in? Were you up north somewhere and got snowed in? Because that storm a couple weeks ago. Yep. I wasn't sure that my trip to Calgary was actually going to happen because I didn't know there were people on the same trip as me, from our community, people who live in the same town. And they were supposed to fly in. They were supposed to fly from Toronto to Calgary on the same day as me. And it took them a whole day and a half longer to get there. So I think they arrived at 1:00 in the morning on Friday. And I arrived on Wednesday. My flight just happened to take off on time, land on time. We were just a little bit late. But yeah, it was, that storm was crazy. And then when I flew back, because I'm in a tiny little Airbus, Skybus kind of thing. Is it what? It's an Airbus, right? You think that's what it's called? There's less than 70 people on the plane. And or maybe less than 100 people. I'll be generous. And we're all jammed in. It's just 2 rows of 2. So none of this fancy big plane situation. And a plane similar to that crashed at the same airport I was landing in a year ago in the winter, minus 25. Because the thing is it's so cold here that you just don't want to be outside. And so these poor people had to climb out of this plane upside down, by the way, on a runway and into minus 25 Toronto weather. And of course, it happened so fast. It took a bit of time to get emergency crews out to them, a warm bus for everybody to get on. So that when we were landing in Toronto, I was just we just have to land upright. That's all we need. That's all I'm asking for tonight, is to land upright on our wheels so that I can walk through the airport and go home. That was all I needed. But yeah, that was, landing in Toronto was actually the most stressful part of the whole thing because it was just so fresh still, that plane crash. Fortunately, the crash a year ago, everyone, I believe, is fine. No one was killed. A couple people were hurt and they got medical attention and got taken to hospitals immediately. But most people just walked off the plane and then were just in absolute shock. I saw a video of a woman where she's just I was just in a plane crash, and she can't reconcile that in her brain that she's actually just walking away from a plane. Can you imagine? It was weird enough waking up in one city and going to sleep in another city. Could you imagine walking away from a plane crash? Your brain wouldn't know what to do with that. So that's where I was the most nervous about the trip, was just those few minutes landing. I actually filmed it, and those couple minutes landing, and in those tiny little planes. It's bumpy. It is bumpy. All right. So that's all I've got today. Everybody's pretty quiet. Everyone's real quiet today. Usually the chat is going faster than I can handle. So, yeah, Blue Yukon, when you have a minute, send me an email. Let me know what happened. And Mad86886, I'll get you added in just a moment. As soon as we log off, I'll add you in. And to everybody else who hung out here today, thank you so much. Don't forget to click the like button, click subscribe, share this if you like. And later on, if you feel like it, leave a comment and let me know what you think. If you're on the replay crew, let me know. And we will be back next week with RH negative and Tartarian bloodlines. So that will be an interesting one. Thanks so much. Have a magical day. Bye.